Hey everybody, Puzzle Max here, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at the Maple Leaf Skewb. This puzzle is really cool. It's not very difficult. If you can solve a Skewb and understand how a Skewb moves, this one will be kind of pretty easy for you to figure out. It'll make sense. There's one little trick at the end that can be a little complicated if you're not expecting it, but I'll cover that and we'll kind of get through this. This is the stickerless version where there's actually color indicators in the middle here that show you where all the colors need to go, which is a big help when making this work. So let's just jump right into this. First thing you want to do is get these triangular pieces into the right place. And because you have that identifier on the centers, you can just bring those around. This one's really cool because if you just do a partial turn, then you can rotate these edge combos 180 degrees. So if you do that, you see that I now have two of these red triangle pieces paired up with that center identifier. I'm not going to be showing that every time. Obviously, if you have this puzzle, you can see that yourself and know where to put things. So let's find these other two triangles of the red center that go into place here. I've got two of them down here on the bottom, so I'm just going to bring these up here. Now, obviously, neither one of those lines up with that piece there, so I can't just plop those into place. But if you bring this from the front face to the right face, and then bring that right piece down to the bottom, and then bring it back up to the front face, it rotates that entire center, the big square there in the middle, 180 degrees. So a lot of times that's all you'll need to do, especially if you have a piece here that needs to move here, so you can bring it up and swap it with the center, rotate it there. So I'm just going to bring this up now, rotate 180 degrees, and then undo that partial turn. So now I've got three of these large triangles all paired up there. This one here I need to get in place of this green one. So I'm going to bring it over one to the right hand side, turn that, make it my front now. And this one here lines up, and I can just do a partial turn and bring that in to the red face with a 180 degree turn on that edge piece. Undo that. So now all four of my red big triangles are paired up with that center. It doesn't matter where you go next. There's no left, right, have to do front, back things for this. You can do these in any order. So I'm just going to pick the next color closest to it that I see. I've got the yellow center here, so let's find the four yellow triangles that need to go into this place. Let's see, I've got one of them here, so if I bring this around to the front now, then I can bring this yellow up next to this green triangle and do a full 180 on that piece. And now I've got that yellow piece paired up. So let's just keep finding some yellow ones here. Here's another yellow one. Obviously this one, if I bring it up like this, it's just going to replace another yellow one. So let's bring it around to a couple of different faces and see what we can do here. So I've brought it over here. Now you remember that 180 degree turn of the square, the center here that I did before. If I do that, it's going to bring this yellow piece up to here, which means I'll be able to swap it with this green piece. So same thing, I'm going to bring this center to the right face. I'm going to bring it down to the bottom, and now I'm going to bring it back up to the front. Rotated this whole square 180 degrees. Now I can bring this yellow one and replace it with this green one. Partial turn, 180 degrees, and there you go. And you'll notice I haven't messed up any of these red ones because the partial turn and the 180s only affect the two pieces that you're looking at. So you have really good control over what you can move, what you don't, what you do and don't change. I've got another yellow one here, another yellow triangle. If I do a 180 degree turn on this square face, the center, it'll bring it up to this position, which means I'll be able to do a partial turn here and swap it out with that orange. So same thing, I'm going to bring this over to the right, bring this down to the bottom, and now bring it back up to the front. Turn that 180 degrees, and I can swap it with this orange one. Now I've got three of my yellow triangles on the yellow face. And I got lucky here Now I have this other yellow triangle ready to go. I can bring up and swap with this orange one. 180 degrees on that edge section, and I've completed my yellow face, or the triangles on my yellow face. Still got the triangles on my red face, good to go. So let's see where to go next. Let's go with this blue face. Obviously my center indicator there is blue, so I know that's where blue things need to go. I've got one blue triangle there. Let's see here. Got a blue triangle here that I can bring up and replace with this orange one. 180 degrees there. Let's see, I've got another blue triangle here. Let's bring that around and see if I can swap it out with somebody. So if I bring it here and do a 180 turn on this center, I can bring it up and then replace it with this white piece. So bring it to the right, down to the bottom, and back up to the front. And now that can replace with that. So I can replace that white one just with a 180 degree turn, and there you go. Next up, I've got one more blue triangle here that needs to go here. Now, this is a case you're going to come across a lot when either fixing the triangles or especially when fixing these leaf pieces that we'll get to in a little bit. If I do this blue triangle lines up with a blue one that's already fixed, and no matter which other face I bring it to, if I do a 180 here, it's going to line up with a blue one that's already fixed. If I bring it here and I do a 180 on this center here, it's going to be over here with this white one, and it's still going to line up with pieces that are already fixed. So in order to fix this, what you want to do is put it on the front closest to the triangle that you're looking to fix. So this is as close as I can get it. Now, again, if I just do a 180 degree turn of this center, it's going to put the blue piece down here, which is still somewhere I can't use it. So what you want to do here is move this blue one to a different face adjacent to the face that it's already on. So I'm going to move this blue one from this front face to the right face. Because I've only fixed two faces so far, fixed the triangles on two faces so far, I just need to find a face that isn't done yet. So I've got this face over here, isn't done yet on my right hand side. I'm going to bring this blue one down here, replace it with that white piece, undo that partial turn that I did, and now I'm going to bring this right over to the front. And now you can see that blue triangle is in a position where if I rotate this center 180 degrees, it'll move it up to here, which means I can then use it to replace this green one. So same thing, I'm just going to bring it over to the right, down to the bottom, and back up to the front. And now I can replace this blue one and this green one. Partial turn, 180 degrees, and undo that. So now I've got the blue triangles done, I've got the yellow triangles done, and I've got the red triangles done. So let's keep going here. Here's my orange face. I've got one orange triangle in place there. So let's find some other orange triangles to use. Here's some orange triangles on this face. I can bring this one up to here and replace it with this green one, moving that orange one into place. Now let's just move this to another front face, turn the puzzle. Let's see what we got. So here, if I do a 180 degree turn on this centerpiece, I'll be able to use this orange triangle to replace this white one. So to the right, to the bottom, and back up to the front. Now this orange one can replace this white one. Bring it up there, 180 degrees, and we're good to go. So let's bring this center that I'm working with this orange triangle, over here and see what we got. Another good situation, I can just do a 180 degree turn on this center and it'll move this orange one up to this green one, which means I can then replace it with this white one. So same thing, right, down, and back up to the front, and now that replaces. And as of right now, I've got 4 of my centers complete. 4 of the triangles on my centers complete. Got the orange ones done, the yellow one's done, the blue one's done, and the red one's done, which leaves me with the white and green. Here, you just have to worry about fixing one of them. because if you fix all of the triangles on the white face, you'll fix all the triangles on the green face. So you just kind of have to pay attention and make sure you just focus on what you're trying to fix. Let's see, if I bring this center here, then this triangle can replace this green one, making sure it's on the white center. So I just bring this up, 180-degree turn there, undo that turn, and there we go. So I've got 3 green ones in and 3 white ones in. So this white one, this white triangle, needs to replace this green triangle. So let's bring it around, get them as close as I can first, and see if that works. The perfect situation that I was hoping to be able to show here without having to set it up, this does not line up with this green one. If I do a partial turn there, lines up with the white one, I can bring it all the way around the puzzle. It's not going to change that. And if I do a 180-degree turn on this green face, this white one will end up down here, and I still can't use it on this green one. So you have to get a little creative and just keep track of your setup moves. What I'm going to do is, using one of the faces that I've already fixed, so this red one, for example, I'm going to bring this white piece to this red face and swap those two out. So I'm just going to do a 180-degree turn, swapping the white with that red that's already in the right place. Undo that partial turn. Now, if I bring this white and red section over to the front, now you can see that it's in a spot where if I flip this red face by 180 degrees, this white one will end up here, and I can swap it with that green one. Because the setup move that I used isn't going to change location of those pieces. That green one, when I swap it with this white one, will still be in the same location as this white one currently is. So I'll be able to just find my green face and swap the red with the green that's going to end up here. So if I just bring this to the front first, let's flip this, let's rotate this red face 180 degrees. So to the right, to the bottom, and up to the top, up to the front rather. Now this white and this green I can swap out. Let's bring that there, do a 180-degree turn on this edge section. All my whites are good. Now I just need to rotate this red face by 180 degrees back to where it was to begin with. So instead of going to the right first and then back to the bottom and back to the front, I'm going to go to the bottom first. So I'm going to go down and then bring it up to the right. Now it's in the same place relative to the green face where it was when I first swapped out that white piece. So now I can just bring this over here and swap that green and that red. And now all 6 faces have the correct big triangles in place. So those are all ready to go. Next up, I'm going to show you how to do these leaf pieces. These ones are a little tougher because there's multiple steps involved, but they work pretty much exactly the same with a lot of the same concepts as getting these triangles in place. So hang tight, we'll fix those leaf pieces here in 1 second. Okay, leaf pieces ready to go here. I'm going to start with the white because it's on top and I have this white one here. What you need to do for this is get one of the leaf pieces that you're trying to fix on this top face pointing towards that top face. And it's going to end up swapping it from here to here. So this situation isn't the best because this white one would replace a white one that's already there. So let's move this around the puzzle and see what we can do. So bring it over to the right and let's see what we got here. So it's on a face adjacent to this one that isn't done yet, but if I were to flip this red center 180 degrees, it's just going to move this leaf piece over to here, which doesn't help me any. So let's just keep going. Bring it around another face, and there we go. So now if I rotate this red center 180 degrees, it's going to put this white piece up here, and then I can swap this leaf piece with this leaf piece. Same method of rotation. I'm just going to bring this to the right, down to the bottom, and back up to the front. And now we're ready to go. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to try and fix more than one of these at a time. So this green one needs to go to a green face. This white one is going to come to this position. This green one is going to end up on whatever face I have on the left-hand side. So let's find my green face, put it on the left. So now what's going to happen here is this white piece is going to go to here, this green piece is going to go to here, and this red piece is going to come here. I got lucky with a 3-cycle, so things kind of worked out for me. What you want to do here is bring this red section up here and do a 180-degree turn there, bringing that leaf piece into position. Undo that turn. Now I'm going to bring this green section up here and take out this leaf piece that I've already fixed. So if I bring this up, this green section up 180 degrees, or not 180, partial turn, match those edges up, and do a 180 turn here, it's going to take this leaf that I just fixed out of position, kind of preserving it for me. Now I undo that, and now I come back and I want to bring this white piece, this white triangle, back up to the white face. So I do a partial turn there, do a 180 on that edge section, it fixes that big triangle, and now if I do a partial turn from the left, I can bring this white triangle and the leaf piece that I fixed to begin with back up to the white face. And what you'll notice is the white that was here moved to this position, the green that was here moved to this position, and the red that was here moved to this position. That's your basic move for doing this. Let me show you a couple more times, finish off this white face. So let's bring this up here. I've got 2 white leaf pieces on this blue face that I need to fix. Neither one of those is pointing directly towards the white face right now, but if I do a 180-degree turn, this white one will end up on the top and be pointing straight up towards the white face. So same thing, bring it to the right, to the bottom, and back up to the front. Now this white leaf piece is pointing towards an empty slot on the white face. Because I've got yellow here, let's see if I can find my yellow face, it's obviously not being used here, and bring it up to the left-hand side. So I bring that up there. Oftentimes you can make this a 3-cycle if you want to get really creative with setup moves and turns and things. But my main goal here is just to move this white one to this white face and hopefully bring this yellow one to the yellow face, which I can do. So same thing here. First thing I'm going to do is take this blue piece, bring it up here, and swap in that white leaf piece into this position. So bring that around, swaps that into that position. I'm going to undo that move there. Now I'm going to bring this yellow section up here and take out these groups of pieces to preserve that leaf piece that I just fixed. So bring this yellow up here, do a 180-degree turn, and undo that move there. Now I'm going to bring this white triangle and this leaf piece that was already fixed back up to this position and swap things out. So now this blue triangle is going to come back to the blue face, and this white triangle with that leaf piece comes back up to there. I'm going to undo that, and now I'm going to bring this section here from the left face that I fixed that leaf piece on back up to the white face and do 180-degree turn on that piece. And you'll notice the white that was here moved up to here, the yellow that was here moved down to here, and the red that was here moved across to here. So I've got one more leaf piece on this white face to do. So let's bring this around here and see what we've got. So now, if this leaf piece isn't pointing towards my white face, if I do another turn here, it'll point towards my white face here, but that's already done, so I'm not going to worry about that. So this is the leaf piece that I'm trying to fix. So I want that on the top, pointing towards me, pointing towards the front. Now on this blue face, if I do a 180-degree turn, it's going to move this white leaf piece over to this position, which still isn't pointing towards the white face. So let's go ahead and just rotate that just to see what we get. So if I bring this over to the right, down to the bottom, and back up to the front, there we have it. Now we have to use that same setup move that we used at the end when fixing these big triangles in order to move this white leaf piece into a position that I can use to swap out with this orange one. So for this situation, my main concern is just keeping track of the setup move that I use and making sure that whatever section I have on my left-hand side doesn't have a leaf piece in this position that's correct. So this one here is orange. It's not in the right place with the red face, so I can use that. I'm just going to leave this here on the left-hand side. What I want to do is bring this blue section here with the white leaf piece over to the right-hand side and swap it out with this orange section. And then undo that partial turn. Now I'm going to bring this orange section up to the front and take a look at what I got. Now here, if I rotate this orange face 180 degrees, this white piece, this white leaf piece, will be pointing towards the top where I need it to be. So same thing here, and again, I have a piece over here in this position that isn't correct, so I'm not worried about it. So here, I'm just going to bring this, rotate this orange section 180 degrees so that this leaf piece is pointing towards the top. So I'm going to bring it to the right, down to the bottom, and back up to the front. And now we can use that same exact 3-cycle that I was doing before to swap this white leaf piece up to here, and this orange leaf piece to here, and this orange leaf piece over to here. So I'm just going to bring this up, partial turn, do a 180 there, and undo that partial turn. It brought that leaf piece into where I want it. Now from the left-hand side, I'm going to bring this piece up to here, do a 180 degrees to preserve this section here on the white face that I just fixed. Undo that turn from the left-hand side. Now I want to bring this white section back up to the white face. So partial turn there, 180 degrees. Undo that turn. And now I can bring this white section back up to this position. And I have all 4 of the leaf pieces on my white face completed. Now I just have to get this blue big triangle back to where it belongs on the blue face, and this orange one back to where it belongs on the orange face. Same as I did when I was fixing the triangles, I need to rotate this 180 degrees, so this is back where it started. I'm not going to go to the right this time, I'm just going to undo the moves that I did at first. So I'm going to bring this down to the bottom, and then I'm going to bring this back up to the right-hand side. And now that orange big triangle lines up with this blue big triangle, so I can just bring those together, do a 180, and bring it back. So I've got all of the leaf pieces on my white face done, and I've got all of the big triangles on the remaining 5 faces still in the right place. That's your basic set of moves that it's going to take to fix all of these. So let me go ahead and fix the rest of these, and I'll come back when I have 3 or 4 of them left and just kind of cover some of the cases that might come across. There's no proper order. You can do this in whatever order you want. So just find some leaf pieces, line things up, turn these faces by 180 degrees, and put those leaf pieces into place on the front or the top faces. The only thing you really need to pay attention to is that the piece that you're using on the left-hand side isn't already solved, because it's going to take that piece out of position on the left face. So give me 1 second. I'll come back when I have 4 or 5 of these ready to go and left to go. All right, I've gotten all the leaf pieces on my red face, all of them on my white face, and all of them on my blue face taken care of. So we come around here, I've got a couple on my orange face that still need fixed, one on my yellow face that needs fixed, and a couple on my green face that needs fixed. So let's see what we got here and see what we can take care of. This green leaf piece is pointing towards an empty slot on the green face. That works perfectly. I can make that happen pretty easily. So for now, since I know that my red, white, and blue faces are done, I don't want to use those on the left-hand side. So let's bring this yellow face around here to the left-hand side and see what can happen. This works out really well. I can swap this green piece up to here, this orange piece will go over to here, and this orange piece will come across to here. So I'll fix this orange and this green at the same time. Same thing, I'm going to bring this up, partial turn, 180 there to bring that leaf piece into place, undo this turn. Now I'm going to use the left-hand side, bring this up a partial turn, and do a 180 degree turn there, taking that green section that I fixed out of place. Now I want to bring this green triangle back up here into place from the front, 180 there, undo the move here, and bring this green one up here and put it back in place. That'll put the yellow one back as well. And now we've only got 1, 2, 3 leaf pieces that need fixed. So let's see what we got here. This green one I can put onto this green face because it lines up with that empty slot there. And this yellow one I need to put on a yellow face. So let's see what we got. This yellow one is just going to go to a yellow slot that's already fixed. That's fine. I can make that work. I'm not worried about that. My main concern is just putting this yellow piece onto a slot on the yellow face and making sure that I fix the green one in the process, because I'm trying my best to complete the green face right now. So same thing, I'm going to bring this green one, partial turn, 180 there, and undo that. That puts that leaf piece into position. Now I'm going to use this yellow face, bring it up from the left, do a 180 here, and undo that. This has saved my green section that I just fixed. Now I'm going to use the front, bring this green triangle and this green leaf back up to position, 180 there, undo that, and then bring this green section back up here from the left and fix that. So now I've gotten my entire green face complete and haven't messed up my white, blue, or red in the process. So let's see what we got left going here. I've got a yellow piece here that needs to be swapped with an orange piece on these two faces. So let's bring this orange face up to the front and see what we can work with here. So if I take this and rotate this orange face 180 degrees, this yellow piece will be pointing towards this orange piece. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring this to the right, bring this down to the bottom, and bring this up to the top. Now, if I do this, because this is a 3 cycle of these leaf pieces, I can fix this yellow one, but this orange one is just going to go to another face that's already complete on the left-hand side, which I don't want to do. So what I want to do here is bring this orange piece to a section of the orange face that's already done. In order to do that, I have to take a group of pieces out of position on this orange face and move them into this position on the left-hand side. So, how can I do that? Well, if I take a look at how things move, this group of pieces on the left-hand side, if I bring those down to the bottom, now they're here. And then if I bring this up, it lines up with that. So I can take this section of orange pieces out of the orange face and move them into the position on the left-hand side where I need them to go in order to swap this yellow to this yellow face, this orange to the left-hand face, and whatever's here, go back up to this position. So, first thing I want to do is take out this group of orange pieces from the front face. Doesn't matter where I put them, as long as I just get them out of the way safely. So swap those down to this red face, which is now on the bottom. And now if I bring this red face from the bottom up to the left-hand side, now you can see that if I bring this yellow up to the yellow face, this orange is going to come down to an orange piece that's already fixed, and this orange is going to move up to this position, taking a new slot on the orange face, fixing that as well. So same thing, I'm going to bring this yellow one, partial turn up here, put it into position on the yellow face, undo this turn. Now I'm going to do a partial turn from the left-hand side, swapping this group of orange pieces up here and taking out the group of yellow pieces that I just fixed. Undo that turn from the left-hand side. Now from the front, I'm going to do another partial turn to put this yellow triangle and this yellow leaf piece back in place. Bring that up like that. Do a 180 here. And you'll notice what's going to happen is this orange leaf piece is going to get replaced with another orange leaf piece. So doesn't hurt anything there. And now from the left-hand side, I want to bring this yellow up here and replace this orange. So now my yellow face is complete, and all of the leaf pieces on the orange face are paired up with the orange triangles. Now I just need to make it so that this red piece and this orange piece swap and go back where they belong. I need to bring this left one down to the bottom, and when I do that, it lines up with this red piece. And now I can just do a 180-degree turn there, and all of my centers are completely built. Now there's one other position here that you might come across, so let me set that up and show it for you because it can be a little harder to understand. So give me 1 second. Alright, so most of my faces are done. I've got this yellow leaf piece that needs to swap with this orange leaf piece. Because of the way they're sitting, I can't just take this and rotate this face 180 degrees or anything like that. So what I need to do is get this yellow piece so that it's pointing towards this orange piece. The best way to do this is to just take it out of position and put it onto another face. So I'm going to bring this entire section down here to this white face and do a 180-degree turn there. Bring this back. And now I can bring this over to here and rotate this white face 180 degrees. If I just bring it to the right, to the bottom, and back up to the front, now that yellow piece is pointing towards that empty slot on the top face. Now, I still need to make sure that this orange piece goes to an orange slot that's already completed. So I need to bring this orange face around to the left-hand side. So I can do that however I want. I'm going to bring it to the back and then bring it over here. Because this is a pure 3-cycle, as long as I don't have this white section in this position, then this orange piece is going to move to this section, this orange piece is going to move here, and this yellow leaf piece is going to move here. So this works perfectly fine. I just have to keep track of what I've done and make sure I can undo my setup moves. So I'm going to do the exact same sequence. Bring this partial turn up to here, put that yellow leaf piece into position, undo this turn. Now I'm going to bring this up to here, do a 180-degree turn there, taking out that yellow section that I've already completed, bring it and undo that. Now I want to bring this yellow back up to here, replacing that yellow and white, and when I do that, it's going to bring this leaf piece into this position. Undo that, and now bring this yellow section that I'd already completed back up onto the yellow face, and undo it like that. And now all of my yellow pieces are done. I've got an entire orange section here and an entire white section over here on the left face that need to swap. So if I remember what I did, I just need to bring this orange face back over to here so that I can swap the orange triangle and leaf pieces with the white triangle and leaf pieces. So let's bring it to the back and then around to the right, and now a partial turn here, and I can swap those out just like I normally would. So now the leaf pieces and the triangle pieces on all of my centers are complete. Because this has the center identifiers in the middle of each one of these faces, I know that these faces are where they belong in a solvable position. So now it's just a matter of solving it like you would a Skewb. Bear in mind, I'm not a speed solver. I'm just going to go through and solve this with my normal Skewb beginner's method. So put all these corners into place here on the white face, and I've got 4 corners where they need to be. Next, I want to fix the 4 remaining corners, the yellow ones. So I'm going to put those down on the bottom and go up, up, down, down once. Fix all of those. Now I just need to put my centers into position where they belong. So 1 sec here to move that around. Move this around. And once more. So now I've got these 3 faces are done. I've got these 3 centers that I need to move. So let's see here. If I bring this to the front, now this green I can move to the back, the red will come down here, and the yellow will go to the front. Any of your standard Skewb methods will work here. If you have a speed solving method that you're more comfortable with, go ahead, use it. As long as you know how to solve a Skewb, you can figure that part out. But there you have it. The maple leaf Skewb is completely solved. So I hope that helped, and as always, happy solving.